Now, I mentioned money a moment ago. And again, be honest, like you have so far. Out of the almost year and a half now, you've been a taxi member and you've done all these submissions and all these forwards and gotten in these libraries and everything else. How much money have you actually seen from this process?
From Taxi?
Yes.
Zero.
Okay.
Have not made one penny. Now, the artist that I did the co-writes with, the first single she selected for her album release for radio was one that I had written with her, and that I've made just under $100 from ASCAP through back-end royalties, and then I think the mechanicals were like $350, around $350 for the mechanicals.
So we're talking hundreds of dollars maybe out of your entire process that you're doing, including Taxi and everything kind of connected to it, or not. So you didn't quit when you got your first returns and all of a sudden things weren't getting forwarded anymore. You took the action there to go do your homework and fix whatever needed to be fixed. Here you are a year and a half into it. You're not rolling in millions of dollars or anything like that.
Nope.
So what is your long-term strategy? Obviously, you're not going to quit your Taxi membership this year either.
No.
What's your long-term strategy? How do you see the process of this unfolding over time?
Well, you know, this is going to be a really honest answer.
That's what we want. Absolutely.
Last year, I was probably thinking, I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be submitting to as many Taxi listings as I possibly can all year long. And the next year I'm going to be doing it I'm going to do just as many next year and the year after that. And I plan on submitting to as many listings as I can for a long time. And then over this last few months, as I've started to get some of these library deals, and some of my time now I'm noticing is having to be focused not to Taxi, but to these specific libraries because they're saying, we love your music. We need more of it. Can you write us some more tracks like this?
Right.
And so now I'm starting to see that most of my time is going to be spent probably towards writing specifically for these deals that I've already gotten.
Right.
And less towards Taxi listings.
But none of them would have happened without Taxi in the first place.
That's true.
So let's say if Taxi wasn't in the picture, where do you think you'd be now compared to where you are if you'd had to do all this on your own?
I don't know if we'd be having this interview, honestly.
Wow.
Because I don't know what I would be. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done because I didn't have any focus.
Right.
I didn't have any direction. That's been one of the best things, you know, from the Taxi listing perspective is it focuses you because I can promise you at least half of the songs, maybe even 75% of those songs, I never would have written on my own.
They literally wouldn't exist.
They would not exist.
Right.
I know for sure one. It's an instrumental, that's kind of like a Joe Satriani piece. I would not have written it, though I love Joe Satriani. I just wasn't, you know, I didn't have any desire to write something that sounds like Joe Satriani. But a Taxi listing came out. We need Joe Satriani type listings. I'm like, okay, I could probably try that. I ended up writing a couple. They've been forwarded probably 5 or 6 times each, and they both are in all of those deals that I've gotten. Both of them have been signed multiple times.
That's great. So you are in it for the long haul. Is there anything I've left out or not asked you about that you would like to give to Taxi membership or potential Taxi people at large that is advice from you, having been in it for a year and a half and knowing what you know now?
If you're in it for quick fame or quick money, get out.
Okay.
Don't waste your time.
That's a straightforward answer.
Yeah, because you're going to be disgruntled. You're going to be disappointed, and also if you don't have the ability to take constructive criticism, if you're not patient, it's going to be it's going to be difficult. Because this is a slow moving process.
Right.
I don't think we talked about Dispatch yet, but Dispatch is more of the immediate needs service, and there was a listing that came out last year, and I submitted. It was a high octane extreme sports instrumental listing. I submitted to it, several other people did, and there's a few of us that got forwards for that listing. One of the members, he got forwarded, and within an hour of getting his forward email, he had a contract offer for that song. I was like, man, that's incredible. I got forwarded for that. Where's my contract offer?
Right.
Never came. And I was I'm not jealous of him because I'm not going to mention his name. He knows who he is. You know who you are. I think he's one of the, he's just a great musician, great guitar player, and I love his stuff. And he knows that. So I was a little bit jealous at first, maybe, but I let it go. I was like, you know what? Keep my head up. I'm going to write. I'm going to keep writing, keep submitting, and I'm going to get through. I'm going to get a deal one day. It's going to happen. I'm not worried. It's not a matter of if for me. It's a matter of when.
Right.
I'm fairly confident in myself, for this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, wasn't as much, about a year ago, but things have changed, and so I forgot about that deal, that forward. 3 weeks ago, I get an email.
So how long has it been since that?
That would
submission?
be over 5 months, about
Okay.
5 months.
Almost a half a year.
Yeah,
we're
so
talking.
4 to 5 months from a dispatch listing.
Right.
Now, if you've been around taxi for a while, a lot of people say, it's very commonplace to get a song forwarded, and then it might be up to a year, maybe 2, before you actually hear from the forwarded, party.
Mhm.
Sometimes you never hear anything.
Right.
So dispatch, you're thinking, since it's an immediate need, they need the stuff now. That's why they're doing the dispatch listing.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure if they get your forward and you don't hear from them within maybe a couple of weeks, then they're probably not interested.
Right.
So I'd forgotten about the song. About almost 5 months later, I get an email, and I'm like, what was this song for? So I go through my spreadsheet. Who was it? That was a dispatch listing. 5 months, almost 5 months for a dispatch listing.
Wow.
And that ended up being my first taxi deal.
Very interesting. So the other lesson I'm hearing is, you said if you're looking for quick fame and all that kind of stuff, but it's also it's not instant gratification, but your songs have potential once they're out there and they've gone through taxi. They're kind of already working for you,
Yeah.
even if they haven't been quote used yet.
Yep.
That's great. Well, Barry, it's been great talking with you. I've been fascinated watching your process over the last year and a half or so.
Well, thank you.
I'm looking forward to sitting here in about a year and talking about money that you've actually made from taxi. I'm sure it's going to happen. And unless you've got anything else to say, I think we've got a lot of great, valuable information here today.
I just want to say hello to all the forum members, aka the dots. I would name them each individually, but I'm sure I would leave somebody out, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So,
Cool. Thank you, Barry.
thank you.
Appreciate it.